So, Jamie, finally back at the hybrid fitness and maybe not quite the result you were expecting.
Well, play like that and you'll never get a result. We were really poor throughout. I was really, really disappointed collectively, individually, nowhere near it. From the first minute to the last, forgetting that we went 1-0 up, performance-wise, nowhere near it. And, that's been coming because we haven't been good for a while now, despite, at times papering over the cracks with half-decent results. And I can't protect the boys no more playing the way they did. They've been beaten by a side today, which reminded me very much of us a couple of years ago when we stayed up and we ran for each other, we worked hard, we cared, we wanted to win games of football, we'd do anything it takes, and we have slipped into a feeling of entitlement, and whether it's the players, whether it's us, players think they can just turn up and expect to win games of football. Maybe we believe in them too much, I don't know, maybe we don't give them that information enough to try and understand that every game at this level is tough, and we've got to try and improve their mentality.
I think it's interesting to note that even before Merstham actually took the lead, they could have been 2-0 up. They moved the ball forward very quickly and got it wide very, very quickly.
Brilliant, and we could speak about how depleted we were in terms of availability, but they were equally as depleted. So no regrets, better team won. They played midweek, they should have been a little bit more fatigued and tired. They didn't look it, we did. And for me, it really emphasised where stuff we already knew, but probably put a greater spotlight on it today.
Any comments about the penalty that sort of put them back in the game?
Yeah, it's really tough. I think I've always been someone who doesn't want to get involved with referees, and it was really tough for him today. Really, really tough, and I don't want to go into detail. From the first to the 90th minute, he was very, very difficult. We talk about those moments, the penalty, the second goal, it looks like the lad scored on the line. He hasn't given offside, just his consistency, the way he spoke to people. But I never want that to deter away from the performance, if you can call it that, today, which was massively below par. And that's got to be our focus, because ultimately we can't change who we get in the middle. I wouldn't say we've necessarily been gifted with an abundance of good referees this year, but losing managers all around the country would say the same. We've got to control more of the controllables and what we do, and we didn't do that today.
But it's interesting that sort of after Merstham did take the lead, there was sort of a spell of about 10 to 15 minutes coming forward where it looked like you were going to dominate. But then after half time, if anything, the momentum fell away again.
And it keeps happening, Bernard. We keep being vulnerable first 10 minutes of the first half, first 10 minutes of the second half. I can tell you now through the actual physical side in terms of the warm-up, it's not that. It's not what they do at half time. It's mental. It's that mentality of resetting or restarting or motivating each other and themselves to get going. And that's mental. That is mentally that encouragement, that belief that you go into the game and you've got to fight your way into that first 5-10 minutes. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against, where they are. That first 5-10 minutes, that battle sets the tone for the rest of the game. You lose that, and often it dictates how those moments and spells go. First 10 minutes, first half, no good. First 10 minutes, second half, no good. It isn't physical, it's mentality and mental.
I mean, how, as a manager, just looking at half time, you've got 12 minutes to sort stuff out. How do you sort of keep the mindset right?
I don't think we have to. I think players have got to. That interval, that break is 12 minutes of getting water on board, having a breather, discussing little moments, what we do, little tactical tweaks, either in possession, out of possession, and that's it. You get going again. There's not a massive restart. These are really feeble excuses for our lads. Ultimately, get yourselves going. Get yourselves going as individuals. Skipper, that's your job. More experienced players, get the younger ones going. Younger ones down top. They're just basics of football. That's Sunday League. That's amateur. You've got to be up from it from the very first kickoff. And if you don't, then as we said, you either give teams you're playing against that sort of confidence and belief, which I think we've done today. That first 10 minutes gave Crowborough that belief that they could go and score goals against us today. They didn't first off. I'm sure their team talk at half time would have been keep going, because we believe we can, because they've already shown a weakness in those moments. And then they did. And then when they got the equaliser, they went, actually, we can win it. And I felt from the moment that they scored the equaliser, we weren't going to win that game. And that's where we're at. Last year, many a times, it was the opposite. We'd go 1-0 down, or we weren't, but we would feel that we would continue. Not now, not at the moment. For whatever reason, not at the moment.
On a positive note, the youth team conveyor belt doing business today. A very accomplished defensive performance, and of course, yet another player coming through and coming on a sub in the second half.
Yeah, we want to give him a chance. It's probably not the best game to throw him into, because the quality around him was so poor. Shea didn't particularly start the game very well.
Made the goal.
We spoke about his defensive duties, but the first 10-15 minutes he didn't start the game well. He was poor in stopping crosses from coming in. He was poor in terms of getting out to wide players and defending 1v1 and understanding what we want from him out of possession. And there was a bit of a turning point. I think Toles and Drage had a word with him, and his head was down. 5 minutes later, he responded brilliantly by going to set up the goal. And from that moment onwards, and we spoke at half time, they're quite defining moments. No young players not been through, and he showed real character to continue after that first 10-15 and done brilliantly well. And then Jimmy, obviously he's had great success the last 2 years through the under-18s. It was nice to throw him on. He wasn't token, he wasn't a gesture. He had some great moments down here, didn't he, for the under-18s? So we hoped he might have had a moment, and it's just good to get those younger players some minutes, and players who may be part of our squad moving forward.
Jamie, thanks for your honesty and your frankness as always. Get the show up and running for the next game.
We will try. Cheers.
Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Cheers.